Hey guys, Brendan here. Just thought I'd talk to you guys about the dystopian nightmare the world is slowly sleepwalking into. And I'd like to start this off by talking about the Ring doorbell camera company, the company that's owned by Amazon, and how they released a commercial during the Super Bowl where they tried to weaponize empathy to tug on the heartstrings of consumers by saying that their technology is able to talk with each other, like each individual Ring doorbell camera, and has a AI monitoring those cameras and can effectively locate lost dogs. And so they drew a lot of criticism towards themselves. And Ring Doorbell, they broke off their contract with their surveillance company because of the massive backlash, because it's very dystopian, because it's very Orwellian and draconian. And it just kind of goes to show like the trend that's happening right now with all these big AI companies, these tech companies, governments. They're all starting to slowly brace us for a surveillance state around the globe. And it's nightmare fuel, because if all you have to do is watch some dystopian sci-fi movies like V for Vendetta, or obviously 1984, or Demolition Man, any of those movies, and they lay out the blueprint for what's slowly happening right now. And so it's oh God, such a scary future ahead. And you know, right now there's kind of a revolt against modern technology. And I'm kind of a part of that revolt, where like we're heading towards a subscription-based economy where you don't own anything, and surveillance everywhere, where privacy is slowly being depleted from us, and then it leaves the door open for possible extortion and blackmail and ultimate control over people with the release of some of these technologies, and the trying to normalize these technologies by basically introducing it to people. And so they're trying to slow roll this out, and it's just, if people are aware of what these technologies are capable of, they ultimately are trying to refuse it. And I think people should start to refuse some of these technologies, because the technologies by themselves are not scary. It's like who is control of these technologies is what makes it scary, because a gun, or like say a chainsaw, is not inherently scary. It's if these technologies have ammunition, or if they have fuel and are wielded by madmen, is what makes them scary. And all you have to do is take a look at what's happening with the Epstein files, where 3 million documents have been released, and supposedly there's 6 million, or at least that's just what I heard. And no one's pressing charges against these people. The FBI is not doing anything, and no one's being investigated. If anything, people are resigning from their roles, which is a good thing. But like ultimately, it seems like these people are going to get away with it. And with these dystopian technologies being rolled out, they're going to be the ones that ultimately control them. Or at least people like them, like politicians, business leaders, anyone in the government, anyone in these intelligence agencies. And you just see the rampant corruption today, mainly due to the Epstein file releases, which I think it's good timing that this is coming out right now, because it kind of shows like when people in power have absolute control and absolute power, that power corrupts absolutely every time. So I suggest to people, like, build parallel systems, so that way you're not reliant on other corporations, or are reliant on the systems that will eventually be monitored at a mass scale. Like, for example, with the release of digital IDs across the world being mandated, the eventuality of central bank digital currencies, biometrics, where they're able to scan the face of people, and these technologies are able to identify each and every person. And it's not just that, they also monitor posture, the way you walk, your human behavior to identify you. All these technologies that are slowly coming out at the exact same time are being done so, I believe, because these people that are in power, the global elites, they believe that there's a real risk that human civilization will collapse in the coming years, if not decades. So they believe this is the only way to prevent the collapse of civilization, but at the exact same time will put the entire human race under a technocracy, a type of dictatorship, totalitarianism, controlled and ruled by these godlike technologies. So yeah, like an example of me trying to revolt against some of these modern technologies is I don't have streaming anymore. If there's any sort of media I want to collect, I'll get physical media. I have an iPod now where I buy a bunch of CDs and then I throw the CDs on an iPod. So I no longer have streaming, so that way I don't pay for access. I pay the one time and then I have unlimited access whenever I want. And that's just one example. And so, yeah, and also when these dystopian technologies get rolled out, which they eventually will, flat out refuse it, because at the end of the day, there was a famous quote by Henry Kissinger. He used to be the old Secretary of State for the US, and his quote goes something along the lines of, if you control the food supply, you control a country. If you control the oil supply, you control a region. And if you control the money, you control the world. And with the release of central bank digital currencies and digital IDs, that's where we're headed. Because with technologies like that, that rely on blockchain or distributed ledger technology, where the money is programmable, you can eventually control the people if the government or central banks, central governments figure they should, for whatever reason. So anyways, just do what you can to get yourselves off of these technologies and these services that effectively have control over you, because at some point we'll enter an economy where it's all controlled by these dystopian technologies, these dark technologies. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this one, please share it with the people around you. And yeah, let's get the word out there to build your own systems, be more independent, and fight back against these dark times that we're about to enter. Take care.